Okay, just want to welcome all of you to another episode of RG22 Outdoor Adventures. And what I am going to be building today is a dive and rise bait, kind of like a suic type lure. This is about 7 to 8 inches long, this piece of wood. It's 2 planks of cedar epoxied together that I have planed and everything like that. So it's all prepped and ready to go, so let's get started. Okay, so we got some tape on here, and this is what we're going to draw our our lure, how it's going to be shaped and everything like that. So we're going to draw the side profile out here, and then draw our top profile out on here. Okay. So we need a pen or a pencil. I have some of those laying around. We're going to need a ruler of some sort. Probably something like that. And I need a straight edge. We need a straight edge, straight edge, straight edge. This lure is going to be about 7.5 inches long, somewhere around there. Probably more closer to 7, but we'll see. And what I want to do is I kind of want to taper this out. So we want to go at least maybe, let's see, what do we want to do, a 1/2 inch on either side? Yeah. So we'll do 1 inch. Okay. I'm just going to draw my line. There. And we'll draw my line here. Okay. Then I kind of want this to start it there. I want this to be angled, so that way the line tie is going to be up here and then it'll dive. Okay, so we don't need it gradual. We can make it pretty quick, pretty steep with the line tie there. And then we'll come out like this. And then something like that. And then we'll do this. There. So it looks something like that. So I think there is our side profile. So now that we have the side profile, now I can do my top and my bottom, my top profile. So we're just going to draw a line that goes all the way across. Okay. There. Let's go halfway. On the edges there. I want this to pull some water. Okay, let's go cut this. So now we have a lot of sanding and fixing to do. So let's go do that. There we go. I'd say we got the sanding done. Now it's time to do the chamfer lines, and we'll get all that done. And then what I'm going to do is we're going to take a saw, probably the band saw. We're going to take one of my saws, and we're going to saw a slit down the middle. We're going to put a tail on the back, get that all pinned in and riveted, and we'll be good to go. So let's continue on with this. This is looking pretty good. Well, on second thought, I figured chamfer lines were needed, so I decided to draw them out. And now we're going to start carving. There's our basic shape. Now I'm going to take this to the vise and we'll get it all sanded out. And once it's sanded, then we'll draw a roadmap for our through wire, because this is what we're going to do, through wire on this one. Okay, so we're going to start sanding. I'm just going to try to keep the middle to the chamfer line here. You'll see what I'm talking about. Okay, here goes nothing.
Get a drum of that. A little easier, I think I might have one. Oh, what happened?
I don't know how this is going to run, but we'll try it. I guess as long as this part's in the middle, and we'll be okay. There we go. Now we can put that through wire through. Okay. And then we're just going to put some epoxy. We'll just put some resin with some micro balloons in here and fill this in. There. Okay. We got that done. So now let's get started on our through wire. This is 5-minute epoxy that I'm mixing up here. Now let's pick it up. Put a little bit more on. There we go. So we're going to slide this in, and then we'll get it pinned in place once the epoxy dries. Be very careful we don't cut ourselves on this. Alright, we'll see you in about 10 minutes when this is all set up. Okay, so now it's time to fill all this in before we put the lead in. So we're going to be using our amazing casting resin. 7 7.5 to 7.5. These are 1-to-1 mixtures. Okay, it's gonna turn white, and then it'll clear. I think we will put some micro balloons in it just to thicken it up a little bit. Okay, I'm dumping a little bit of micro balloons here, not a lot. Okay, this will thicken it up. I can feel it heating up already. We're going to start having a chemical reaction shortly. Okay, and now we just pour it. So that'll solidify, and when that's done, we'll put the lead in. Okay, so I have done quite a bit. I got it all sanded, painted, and put my first coat of white over it. Got everything all taped up nice and neat. So that way we can actually start painting this lure. So the colors I've chosen are going to be some yellows, reds, and oranges. I want to try to make this look like maybe like a sunrise or a sunset or something like that. Maybe put some stripes down the side. Definitely going to put some scales. Definitely going to probably put some gills in it. And it's going to be a yellow belly. And we'll start painting. Okay, so let's get started on this. Okay, we're going to do some opaque yellow. Okay, here we go. Now we're going to start spraying. Okay, so the next color is iridescent yellow. Let's get started. All right, here we go, fluorescent orange. Let's get started on this one. Okay, so next is a wicked red. And what I'm going to do on this step is I've got some lines marked out from about 5 inches, 1 inch apart. And I'm just going to draw some lines with the airbrush. And these are going to be my stripes, and I'm going to make those stripes come down the side. So I have all the lines marked already. You probably can't see them, but I can. There we go. Could be a matter of we're going to go through and refine these and make these a little bit better. And this is just defining just where the lines are going to go. Okay, so there we go there. Not too bad, but now it's time to actually make these a little bit thicker and have There we go. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. There. Okay, so now the next step is going to be we're going to add scales. And then I'm going to go over the top in red and down this side right here. Okay, so let's get started on the scales. Oh, well, you know what? I got the scaling material on, so we're going to make our scales. And for the scales, I'm going to probably do a fairly heavy coat of pearlized gold. And then probably do some, I'm thinking about doing a little bit of black just to define the scales a little bit on top of the gold. So let's get that done right now. Okay, well, I've got the scaling material on. And now it's time to paint the scales. And I'm going to use a pearlized pearl copper for the scales. I'm going to go pretty heavy on the back over here. And then come down on the sides. And after that, I'll probably do a little bit of black. In the black, I'm going to try to get the airbrush to point up this way. So let's do this first. Okay, let's dry this off and we'll put another coat on. Well, the next color is going to be transparent black. So what I want to try to do is I want to try to get the black to sit right about there on the scales. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to shoot the paint in this direction, aiming for this part of the scale material. And I'll go really, really light because I don't want this to be very heavy at all. There we go. Okay, I'm going to call these scales done, so we're going to do the unveil. Here we go. So far, so good. Look at that. That is what I'm talking about. That is beautiful. Wow, look at that. And you see how heavy and separated those scales are here. I'm not too worried about here because we're going to do some shading. It's going to be primarily red down the back. But I want these scales to kind of be defined when we're painting the red. Okay, time to do the gills. So I think we're going to do this first. I'm just going very light on the outside. I think we'll define the gill a little bit more. There we go. So you guys can see it. Let that dry. And we'll do the other side. There. And now we're going to put some white in here. Okay. And then I might make the white just kind of splash a little bit this way. on both sides. Okay, here we go. Hopefully you guys can see that. We're very light. Okay, there we go. Okay, and there's our gills. And now that the gills are done, I'm going to take some red and I'm going to put some red right across the top, and then probably a thin black stripe just to kind of tie it all together. Okay, so now red is going to go right across the top, and I'm going to try to tie all of this in together over here. So here it goes. Okay, I think that looks pretty good. I kind of like that. Next, I'm going to take black. I'm going to try to put a nice thin black line all the way down the center, and I think that should tie it all in together. And okay, time to paint our black line right down the middle with some transparent black. Hopefully this ties it all together. Okay. Okay, and there we go. Okay, so let's check these eyes out. There's one. There's the other. So there they are. Now let's see how they, let's put them on the lure so we can get this bottom finished up, the belly.
This one here. Oh, it ain't done yet, huh?
It's done. There's the eyes. We're going to let that dry, and then we'll put some tape over the edges here, the sides, and then I'll get this painted again to get all these scratches out. Okay, so this is the lure in action. Let's see how this is going to work. Probably do some tuning on it and try one more time. We let it float up to the top. Kind of wants to dive off to the right a little bit, so let's try tuning it. There. Moved it over to the left, over to the right some more, and let's see what happens. Try again. Oh, nope, still doing it. Not running like I want it to. So I think it's going to be back to the drawing board with this one.